Good afternoon. Thanks for coming today. I'm Sheriff TK Waters. I'm here today to share outcomes pertaining to an undercover narcotics investigation, Operation Trigger Switch. I want to begin by acknowledging the members of the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office Major Case Narcotics Unit, our ATF partners and DEA partners, who worked together with us to make this operation such a success. I'm joined today by members of JSO's, once again, Major Case Narcotics Unit, Robert Bryson, Group Supervisor with the ATF, and Mike DeBette, Area Supervisor with DEA. These dedicated men and women worked both in covert and non-covert capacities to apprehend Daniel Jarrett, the target of this investigation. Jarrett is a 9-time convicted felon who traffics in firearms and large quantities of illegal narcotics. As a convicted felon, he is prohibited from possessing firearms, much less dealing in them for profit. Jarrett garnered the interest of the law enforcement not only for his firearms and narcotics trafficking, but also because he illegally sells gun switches, devices which render semi-automatic firearms fully automatic. Jarrett was arrested by the JSO Major Case Narcotics Detectives on March 21st, 2023 for the following: trafficking in fentanyl, trafficking in cocaine, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, and possession of a Re-VIN'ed vehicle. At the time of his arrest, a search warrant was executed and the following contraband was seized: 2 kilograms of cocaine, 3/4 kilos of fentanyl, 1 Glock pistol that was rendered fully automatic by means of a switch, 1 stolen Glock, 1 additional pistol, 1 Draco rifle, $20,000 in cash, which are proceeds from illegal drug sales and gun switches, 1 vehicle used for trafficking purposes. I want to frame the significance of the seizures for the public. As I've talked about on many occasions, in the past decade, our community has been ravaged by the impact of opiate addiction. In recent years, fentanyl, a synthetic opioid, has entered the street narcotics market. Its entry has been devastating, and I repeat, devastating and deadly in our community. The dangers that fentanyl poses are unprecedented in a world of illegal narcotics. Just a small amount, 2 milligrams of fentanyl can kill a person. During Operation Trigger Switch, detectives seized, as I said, 3/4 kilograms of fentanyl. That computes to 375,000 lethal doses of fentanyl. Now think about it. Jacksonville is a city of about 950,000 to 1 million people. So by this seizure alone, detectives seized enough fentanyl that could kill over 1/3 of our city's population. These investigators should be commended for the countless hours, numbers of lives that they have saved through the successful completion of this operation. Additionally, by arresting Jarrett, these investigators have removed an individual from our streets who illegally sells gun switches, devices which render firearms fully automatic. A fully automatic firearm has a greater potential for lethality because bullets are continually fired until the trigger is released. Through the successful outcomes of Operation Trigger Switch, investigators have stopped 1 illegal source of gun switches. We'll never be able to quantify the lives that were saved by halting this flow of illegal switches, automatic firearms, and fentanyl. However, our community is safer and more secure because of this operation's success. I want to address those criminals who continue to profit off poison and promote violence in our community. We will use every available resource to stop you from selling that stuff in our community, to stop you from profiting off death in our city. We won't quit. We won't stop. We are committed with our law enforcement community to holding you accountable. And we're going to work to make sure you stop selling that stuff in our city. And I'll answer any questions if you have any.
Sheriff, can you talk a little bit about those trigger switches? I mean, how do they work? How common are they? Do we see them being used in any of the violence that we've seen recently?
Well, we're starting to see more and more of them in our city. We've bought just about 7 of them this year. And I'll let the ATF and DEA talk about just how prevalent they are.
Yes, sir. We see them here lately almost weekly. We're buying them undercover. A lot of them are sold online. So there's individuals that can be in the United States or outside the United States, and you can go online and purchase it. So we've got an internet crimes division that tracks that, and we are intercepting those as well. But here lately, there's numerous ones. They can be made by a 3D printer. They can be plastic, metal, as well as a combination of the two. Basically, the way it operates, it goes in the back of the gun, so it keeps the trigger from resetting after a trigger pull. So if you hold the trigger down, that little piece will keep it from engaging, so it will continually fire until the magazine's empty.
Starting to see that used like in crimes and shootings, I guess.
I think there have been a few crimes here, but they are prevalent out on the streets, yes.
And the thing about it is this, we don't want to see them used. So whether they're used or not, you can't sell them. They're illegal. So that's why we're focusing on it, and we're going to continue to focus on it.
Here,
Yes, sir.
what bigger offenses are these targeting?
Well, we're seeing violent crime decrease slightly. And so as long as we continue to do this and focus on, so we know there's a direct nexus between drugs and violence, gangs and violence, drugs and violence. So as long as we continue to attack that problem, I think we're going to see some difference. We're going to make our community safer. But there's a lot more going on, right? When you talk about fentanyl, 470 deaths last year for overdoses. So when it comes to getting that stuff off of our streets, those are lives that are saved. It's difficult to quantify, but those are lives that are saved. So we're going to keep working at it.